Okay, one last report to do. Well, first though, we got to come over here and send this up, upload this to the our directory. So let's come back over here now. And now this brings us to the U.S. Now, okay, good. So how many views do we have from the U.S. yesterday? A total of 7 views. And again, the younger folks are supporting the channel more than the older folks. We had a total of seven views yesterday. 6 of those views were the under 18 crowd, and 1 was the over 18 crowd. Okay, so there we go. That should conclude this report. Let's conclude this. Okay, so here we go. Let's go back over here and let's run the report for the U.S. Now the thing that's kind of curious about the way COVID-19 deaths are being counted, at least in the U.S., is that uh, diseases like heart disease and cancer are counted 1 year at a time. Okay, so what you see is so every January 1st, heart disease and cancer is set back to 0. But yet with COVID-19, we counted from the very first case, which is January 2020, and the very first death, which was the very end of February 2020. Okay, all right. So anyway, so what you can see here, currently the U.S. has, since January of 2020, the U.S. has had 46.09 million cases, and since the very end of February 2020, 747,033 cases. Now, currently U.S. is averaging 71,019 cases per day. That projects out over the next 365 days as 25.9 million more cases between now over the next 12 months. We are currently averaging 1,220 deaths per day, which projects out for the next 365 days at 445,534 deaths in the U.S. Okay, over the next 12 months. Uh, Now we can move on here. As you can see, this is a fairly typical pattern we've seen across several countries now, right? Long declining pattern in COVID-19 deaths or cases down in July. A big spike here in July, not as high as these numbers here, but nonetheless a pretty good spike. Okay, because you can see the average is well below this average over here. Okay, so anyway, this long declining pattern down in July. Then, but the question, what is this? Are these the people who have been vaccinated? Are these the people who got Delta V? Uh, how many people were vaccinated, and how many people? What was the exact nature of their virus? Okay. What about deaths? Same pattern, long declining pattern in deaths. In July, we saw this pretty steep increase all the way up to here before the numbers began to fall back down again. Okay. What you can see here is the U.S. has passed the 2020 cases, and deaths have passed the 2021 cases. Okay. But if you take a look at the numbers here, obviously this little spike here is what really killed this year. Because if it weren't for this spike, we would have just some pretty doggone good numbers. Okay. So hopefully this isn't. So the question still remains: is this the Delta variant? But even so, these numbers went up, then they began to fall back down. Okay, what's interesting is, up in July, down in the spring, and then down back over here again. Okay. What about deaths? Well, you can look here that hmm, okay. So we can come back over here now. Those are deaths. Quarters. Unfortunately, the third quarter of 2021 is a quarter with the third most cases so far. and also the quarter with the third most deaths so far. Now let's just come back over. Let's just kind of zoom into here, okay? You can see that the COVID-19 case in the U.S. spiked on January 8th, a long declining pattern down to July. Then he spiked back up again on September the 7th at 277,124 cases, okay? Before falling back down to on November 1st to 121,139 cases, okay? What about deaths? Well, you can see over here, we got some, take a look at the spike up here, okay? So what you can see here, you got this long declining pattern all the way down into here again for COVID-19 deaths down to July, then a big increase followed by a decrease. COVID-19 cases by week, again, no surprise, long declining pattern here. What, a 5, 6, 7 week increase, pretty steep increase over here. Now those numbers begin to fall back down again, okay? Same way with deaths. What about monthly cases, monthly deaths, okay? Monthly cases, well, October was the second month in a row we had a decline in cases. But we also had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 month in a row decline over here also, okay? So we had a 3 month increase. No, because you can't count that twice, right? What about deaths? 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in a row during winter and spring and summer. We had 6 months in a row where COVID-19 deaths declined in America. Then we had 2 weeks, August, September, of an increase. October was a little bit of a decrease from October's. And now the cycle begins over again. Now here's a question for us. This is something to think about. For every 100,000 people in the U.S., currently how many people have COVID-19? Well, right now that number is probably around 22 to 25 on average, okay? What about this? For every 100,000 people in the U.S., how many people are dying from COVID-19? Well, the answer to that question is more interesting because according to the numbers here, well, I mean, it's currently less than one, for every 100,000 people, 1/2 of one person is dying from COVID-19. Okay? So anyway, that concludes our reports for today. I'll be back at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time to resume our Dave's Data Analytic live stream. We'll do a little reading from the R from Data Science book by Hadley Wickham. We'll continue to read through that. And then we'll also do some more data wrangling, probably from the Prep and Data site for the Tabular Prep and Data site challenge site. Okay. So anyway, thanks so much again. Thanks so much for the raid from Yuka, and thanks so much for Toaster Cereal and a couple other people for stopping by and say hi inside of the chat today. Thanks so much. See you all at 8 p.m. this evening, Eastern Daylight Time.